Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Today we have an amazing segment on Ascension, and we're going to talk about Ascension being a life journey of inspiration, fulfilled living, and infused with bountiful blessings. And I have to say that when it comes to our work, that Ascension is one of our main focuses, or probably is the main focus when it comes to our lives and our work, and doing our light activation healings with our clients and leading our unique spiritual journeys around the world. It's our focus in helping other people raise their vibration, perceive from the highest perspectives, shift to the most supportive and fulfilling beliefs and emotions, and get the life that they have only dreamed of having in the past. So join us tonight as we discuss what is Ascension, how to ascend, and how it will be most beneficial, exciting, fulfilling aspect of life as we share our insight and experiences as examples. I'm Cindy Eyler.
And I'm Homer Castillo. And if you would like, you can comment in the chat room. And if you would like a free mini light activation healing, just type in "I'm all in," and we'll see who we choose.
Yes, we'll be giving our mini light activation healings readings to whoever we feel guided to select. And the key word is "I'm all in," and we will choose from whoever posted that. So welcome, and I hope everybody's doing really good. This is a huge topic, as they all are. I feel like I say that every time. But we're going to give you a snapshot of what Ascension is and why it's important and why we love it so much and the benefits, and hopefully it'll inspire you to think more about it and get on that ascension train upwards and vibrating high. So vibration is the basis of how you ascend. So ascension is raising your vibration, which means you get lighter, which means how do you get lighter in life? It is about shedding the things that are heavy in your life, shedding the worries, the thing that takes away your peace, the things that keep you feeling stuck or hindered. So it can be your health, it can be your friends, your family, it can be people you associate in different ways, it can be where you live, the area that you live in. It can be just the different things that you engage in. And, you're going to know pretty easily if something feels good or bad. So good would be lighter, bad would be more dense. And so obviously, the more you make choices that feel really good, the happier your life's going to be. The more happy, feeling good it's going to be. And whatever you're vibrating, if you're vibrating happy and good and satisfied and fulfilled, you will start attracting other people that vibrate the same, and opportunities and situations, and you'll start seeing things just show up in your own personal reality, whether it's news articles or videos or insight. It'll start coming in and aligning with you at the level that you're at. And so if things don't feel good, it doesn't mean like, well, I mean, it is what it is. If things don't feel good most of the time, that's a sign that you're allowing things to let you stay in that vibration. You always have a choice. You can always think good or positive, or you can think bad and negative. And, I'll just give an example of how you can make a choice. So say that you wait for somebody to contact you and they're not contacting you, whether it's just contacting you in general, contacting you for a holiday or a birthday or whatever. And so you're actually waiting, like, are they going to contact me? Oh, they didn't contact me. I knew they weren't going to contact me, and getting upset about it. So yeah, maybe it's kind for them to contact you. And maybe it's, for whatever reason that they're not contacting you for whatever reason. Let's say that it would be more appropriate if they did. Like, say they hung up on you and said that they were going to, say this actually happened to me. I was in a conversation with someone and I thought we got disconnected. And then they wrote me a text and said, somebody walked in, I'll call you back in 20 minutes. So I said, okay. And that was in January of this year. And I still haven't got that phone call back.
Oh, I thought that was me, because sometimes that happens where we get disconnected.
No.
So that
So
was someone else.
I'm like, you know what? I think that that's rude. It's unacceptable. It's rude. But I'm not going to sit here and stew and put energy towards that somebody's rude and their behavior to me is unacceptable. I just realized that I don't want somebody in my life that's going to treat me like that. So I guess it is what it is, and I move on, right? And so I'm not going to sit there and stew on it. And so that's the thing. Like, even if it was appropriate and the right thing for them to do to contact you, but they're not, instead of being upset or bothered every time they don't contact you, if you really want to talk to them, even if it's your birthday, even if it's like, whatever day, and they should be the one calling you, call them and just say, hi, how are you? I'm just calling because it's this day and I just wanted to say hi to you. That way you feel good. You don't have to feel bad, even if it's for them to do. But do you care about how you feel, or do you care about holding grudges and letting that bring down your vibration? And every time that they should be calling, you're going to wait around for them to call and then say, oh, I knew they wouldn't call. And, like, why do that? So sometimes it's about you just doing what feels right for you to benefit you, not make it who's right and who's wrong. Because in this world, there's going to be right and wrong, and there's going to be rude and polite. There's going to be all of those things. So if it really matters that much that you hear from that person, reach out to them. Like, be the person that just does what you need to do to help you to feel good about it. So, I mean, that's like an everyday example, but Ascension is about the everyday. It is about practicing through experiencing your day to day. It's not about, oh, I'll work on my ascension when I'm on a spiritual journey, or I'll work on my ascension when I'm meditating. It's kind of like when people go to church and whoever the leader is like telling you, be good, be kind, be loving. And everybody's like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then they walk out and they're like having road rage and cussing out their family members or whatever. It's like, oh, that only worked when you were in church, but it didn't work when you weren't out of church. No, you have to take it and practice it with everything, even rude people. Okay. So now that's just some basics, but why would we want to, besides feeling good and raising our vibration, let's look at ascension. Why is that important? Why would it be important to want to, besides that it feels good? I mean, all those benefits are great. Ascension, your spiritual ascension, is lifting your vibration to higher dimensions, and it's your soul's evolution. So through that lifting your vibration and your soul's evolution, you get better at not letting day-to-day stupid things bother you to the point that it's going to really, hold your ability to continue moving forward. It comes with it's a maturity as you go. So it's always a process. It is a form of maturity, and you will be given opportunity to see how you pass the next levels and the next levels and the next levels. Now, one thing that's really cool about Ascension is, to me, it's getting closer to my higher power. And because that is the highest vibration, right? So I feel really good when I'm getting closer and closer to my higher power, because I'm more of who I am as a soul. And I'm going to have a much more fulfilled life because, right, your higher power, you are always co-creating with your higher power. So you can be co-creating with negative mindsets. You're always creating. So no matter what, 24 hours a day, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're putting out there, you're creating that. So you could be creating really crappy things if you're thinking crappy, and you could be creating really amazing things if you tend to keep your eye on the better and the best, right? So you're always creating. So I want to create at my best. And I have lots of proof in my life where I have created so many amazing things that when I was younger, I would have never thought I would attain that. And so I didn't know the processes. I didn't know that you could do it. I didn't know any of that stuff. But now that I know what it is, it's my inspiration. It's my incentive to keep going further and further. So I am picky about who I hang out with. I am picky about who I associate with. I am picky about all kinds of things. I'm picky about it because I am picking and choosing what is going to be best for me. And that even goes down to food, So there's foods that vibrate lighter and there's foods that vibrate dense. That's totally up to you. I have no judgment on what people are eating. They need to eat whatever they want to eat, but just know that everything has a density and a vibration, and it also has its own vibration as far as what it goes through before you take it. And keep that in mind. If you're eating, for instance, an animal that was in one of those really horrid what do you call it, factory farming kind of things, where those animals are so stressed out and just like, they're full of trauma. You're eating trauma and stress, and then wondering why your life feels stressful and traumatic. I actually had a little experiment with that myself. I wasn't doing it for that reason, but at one point I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just eat some meat because I wanted to lose weight and see if that would help, because what I was doing, being vegan, was not helping me to lose weight. And I just figured I'll try it for a while, and if I lose weight, then when I get to the weight that I want to be, then I'll just go back to the way I eat normally. And it was a horrible feeling to eat that. But the weirdest thing, besides it not feeling good, because I haven't eaten meat in so many years, was I noticed that it put me in a bad mood. Like my moods just weren't as happy. And it took me a little bit to realize, like, why am I in a bad mood? Like, not like, like angry, but I just noticed I wasn't as happy. And I know what I feel like. I know what I feel like feeling good and in my day to day. And I was not feeling at those levels. And it took me a little bit to realize, I said, oh my gosh, eating meat makes me feel in a bad mood. And my angels told me, stop eating that. And I did. And immediately back to the way I was. And so I know for a fact how it affects you. Now, some people, it's funny because I have a Cindy's Insiders Club, and somebody in there told me, oh, were you on meat like the last time we had our class? And I'm like, yeah. And then she goes, "Oh yeah, well I can see now. Yeah, you look much better." And I just thought, wow, okay, everybody in there eats meat. I was the only one that didn't eat meat. And I said, "Well, you guys must all look like crap yourselves. Imagine how much better you could look if you weren't eating meat." And she said, "No, but you committed not to eat meat." I never committed not to do anything. That was just a choice I made. And it doesn't mean like I can change my mind anytime I want. It doesn't mean like you committed and you can't eat meat or you're gonna look like crap. And I know she didn't mean it that way. I mean, I was teasing her about it. Like after she said that, like for between the 2 weeks we didn't meet, I was like, wow, like I was like, that was like mean. But then she was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. Like it was meant to be a compliment. But think about it. Just because someone doesn't commit to not eat meat doesn't mean that it's not affecting their mood or how they look. In her case, how she thinks people look. But definitely it affects your mood, believe me. And people just get used to having certain things, so they don't realize that they could be feeling so much better. They don't realize that they could be in a better mood just by not eating that. But again, that's everybody's choice. I'm just saying my experience, and it's not for me. But it was very interesting to see. I couldn't believe that. Like, wow, that's what that was. But I can feel a lot of, because I work with energy and I'm really dialed into energy. I can feel the vibration of anything. Even like before, I would take ibuprofen, no big deal. Now, if I take it, ew, like that vibration is disgusting. I can't believe the vibration of ibuprofen. And I was just like, oh, now like I will do anything not to take one of those. I mean, I never took it a lot anyway. I mean, back in the old days when I used to have really bad headaches and really bad migraines, because I used to be super stressed out and think bad thoughts and negative, all those things. I used to have massive headaches, but now I only get them once in a while. And if I get one, I really do not reach for the ibuprofen because it's just so disgusting. And I remember,
Well, I worked on you too, and
right,
I could feel it. I was feeling it, and
right. Homer was like, "Oh, I was feeling something, and it was green." And I said, "Ew, it's that ibuprofen. It's green."
and it felt nauseating. Like,
Yeah,
what
it
was that?
just has
So energetically, I was picking that up.
it has a disgusting vibration. It really does. So I, really can feel different things. And I know, because I know my energy so well, that when something goes a little off, it's like, okay, what is that from? Because that's not my normal. So I will know, like, oh, what did I have that wasn't normal? What is this? So I'm really good at just really knowing what's right for my body and not. So the more you take care of yourself, the higher your ascension is, the cleaner you are, the higher your ascension goes. But also, what to go, I wasn't really going to go into this part, but it is important to know what happens as you ascend higher and higher. So remember how people would always say, like, we don't know what happened to the Mayans, they disappeared. Or what happens with gaps in history where it can't be explained, like even in Egypt. There's like a period of time where it's like missing, like what happened to that? What happened during that? How come we can't find a historic, remnant of that time? And like the Ice Age or whatever. And in Egypt, a lot of they're always finding new ancient tombs and pyramids and stuff, and there's cities underneath the city that we see, because it all got buried in the sand. So that means there was a time period where the sand blew over everything and just covered it. And so the first messages that I was getting about the Mayans way back was they didn't disappear, they ascended. So they're just at a different vibrational level. And I could attest to that because I channel the Mayans. I used to channel them a lot. I still do channel them, especially when I'm in the Mayan Riviera. And so I know that they are there. And plus there are Mayans now in, physical that we can see because we interact with them as well. But they didn't disappear, they ascended. They're very much there. And in essence, that's basically what happens to people too when they pass. They ascend, they go to another level. But just let me step back to that other point I wanted to make, like in Egypt, where there's time periods missing. I was told that, well, gosh, I mean, okay, I guess I can just say this part. I was told that everything has always existed. And, I often say that on this show is everything exists. And so the thing is, so say for Egypt, that it's always existed, but maybe beings or humans or whatever lived there ascended to another level. And then it just sat before anything could ascend into that level. It could be years, right? Before something moves into that vibrational dimension to see Egypt, meet Egypt, and birth Egypt again. Makes total sense. I never thought about it. So when people pass on, I've seen that some go to those heavenly gates and do that, and others ascend to another level. And many of them are waiting for us. They can see us, we can't see them. And so when they find out, like when they're ready to transition, that they know, like, hey, you're going to this, basically the new world, a new existence. They know, oh, that's totally my next step. And so they don't feel so, like they have a new perspective and knowledge and insight. So they're excited to take that next step into that next dimension and wait for you to come and join them. They know that we're not separated, that it's just a matter of time when we continue to evolve, transcend, and ascend into those levels. So that's really exciting. That's super exciting. And, with the way the world is at this time, I channeled, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago from the Mayans. They said that we would get to a point in our world where there would be so much division that it would start to separate the vibrations between the different divisions. And so, that everything always exists, no matter what. That's why it's important for you to pick and choose what you're going to believe, pick and choose what you want to see. Now, okay, I'll say that in a minute. Because you're going to either move to a higher dimension or you're going to stay in the chaotic dimension or the lower dimension. Not a judgment. Everybody has choices about how they want to think, how they want to be. But eventually that separation will get so far that it will like snap and separate. So like with the Mayans, when they ascended, that they just got so far in vibration that we don't see them in the physical. So it doesn't mean that they're not in a physical. It just means they're in another vibration. I'm hearing galaxy. I never heard that before, but I just heard it say, come to me, galaxy, that they are very much physical in their existence where they are. We're just not matching that. So, it's where we match that's important. So going along with how our world is, it's interesting. We have the people that believe that, I don't know, I'll just make it simple. Like, the politicians are good and they're going to change things and they're for us and da, 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 da. And then you get the other people that are saying, oh, they're going to do something to try to control us and take us over and do these things, these really negative things to us. And that's all power and money and da da da. And some that say, I don't see any of it. I'm just love and light. I'm love and light. So you have all these different people playing out all these different aspects. So what is true and what's not true? The truth is it all exists. All of it is there. If somebody's talking about it, it exists, whether you like it or not. But for me, like somebody sent me this video yesterday, and it was very convincing. And I was just like, whoa. And I just was like, it is true because they're creating what that was. But the way that I sift through it is like, if it makes me feel fearful or bad in any way or negative in any way, I'm choosing for that not to be my belief. I am going to always make the decision of what feels good to me. I will be responsible. I will play the game of being here on earth because that's where I am. But my focus is getting to better, being better, making my conscious decisions, creating my life that creates thriving and happiness for me, matching the energies of people that I love and love being engaged with. Like that's where I am going to be. And I remember someone saying, but they're going to come and they're going to put us in these things and they just want to kill everybody. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to ever choose the fearful story. I'm not ever going to do that. And so if what's the worst thing that can happen? That I get killed, that I die? Oh, well, I guess then I get to ascend at that point. Sounds good to me. Like I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to be killed, but I'm not going to live in fear that somebody's going to kill me. These people are trying to get everything from me. Like I'm doomed and hopeless, because that is just going to create a life that is going to suck. I would not want to be in those vibrations at all. I will continue to do what I need to do to be healthy, to live my life the best I can, but I want to be happy in the process of doing it. And when it's my time, regardless of how it comes, it was my exit point. That was the time I decided to go. It's all good. Okay. Holding on to this life is not my focus. I like being here. I love being here. I want to be here. But I had a deceased person tell me once, people always say they're not ready to go yet, or that they still have a lot to do, so it's not their time yet, because they just are afraid to go. Because if you knew what was going to meet you when you did go transition, you would want to transition. So there's a lot of wisdom to that. So you have to pick the people and the situations and the vibrations and the emotions that you want to experience in your life. And if you're choosing to believe chaos, and if you're choosing to believe fear, then you're just going to have a lot more of that in your life. So is that what you really want? So Homer, what are some ways that we work on raising our vibration and our ascension?
Okay, there is one question that Allison brought up. I think that was good. Do more psychic gifts become unveiled during each person's personal ascension?
Wait, you were breaking up. Can you say that again?
Do more psychic gifts become unveiled during each person's personal ascension? Question from Allison in New York.
I mean, the more you open to your gifts, the more
the more you see
and work with it, the more you're going to just know and understand. It's like, I do so many healings and have done so many healings for so many years that I can see really far and really deep. And a lot of people can't see on those levels because they haven't done what I do. And so, I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything. It is what it is. It's like somebody who does ballet. they're going to, if they practice and just really put their all in, they're going to be able to do more than somebody that does it occasionally. So it's what you put into it that will determine if it grows or not. Now, if you don't really do much to grow it, then it'll be how you are, and you'll get what you get from what vibration you're at. That's okay.
Mhm.
It's not a judgment to say, oh, I'm higher or I'm better, I can see more. It's not that. It just is what it is. It's available to everyone.
Yep.
So, Homer, what are some of the things we do? Because you know what? I live my daily life focused on ascension. So, everything I think, everything I feel, everything I do, I'm always listening to what I'm saying. And if I need to change the way I'm saying things, I will. If, sometimes I really get caught up in saying things that are just so amazing that I'm just flying high. I feel so great. But, I'm human. Sometimes I say things that aren't the best, but I will know when I'm saying it immediately when I'm saying it and knowing what to do to change it. So, besides living it day to day, what are some of the things we do to
Some of the things that anyone can do actually is also listen to music. Music really shifts the energy, shifts the mood. Um,
all music?
Not all music. If it's music that, I mean, in my opinion, stirs the soul, um, you know, I mean, for me, I listen to a wide range of music, but it's when I listen to like instrumental songs or sometimes choir songs that sounds like angels, or even sounds. It could be like um, bowls, crystal bowls, or even the cricket chorus, which sounds like angels. It's crickets that are making noise, like what they usually do, but it's slowed down to a point where it sounds like it's a angel choir.
Right.
So
So,
things
if
like
you
that.
if you listen to sad love songs all the time, you probably are enjoying being in a sad dimension. So you're gonna get a lot more sadness.
Yeah, and also like if I want to uplift my energy, for me, I definitely listen to songs that move the spirit. I listen to Polynesian music too, and it's very upbeat, and it's has to do with the nature, the islands. So that can uplift your energy and go toward
So it
ascension.
really depends on what you like. So if Homer likes Polynesian music, but you don't, it's not gonna be uplifting to you.
Yeah, you go with what you like. It could be country music for some people, classical music.
Yeah, but
Um,
you have to
yeah.
realize if it's music with words,
Mhm.
depending on what those words are, will and how it stirs your emotions, will say if it feels good or not. What kind of
Exactly.
memories that it might bring up, you
Mhm.
know? Are they memories that don't feel good, or do they feel good? So,
And I like
pay
what you said
attention.
about that because sometimes I listen to songs that are not in English, so I don't know what they're saying, but I tap into the emotions of it.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, there were a few songs I listened to before that I thought, wow, this sounds really good. But then I find out, like, you translate it, like, oh, it doesn't sound really good.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
what else?
Also going to trips, you don't have to go internationally. I mean, you can, and it does help if you can go to power centers. But of course, not. I know not everyone can do that, but
What do you mean?
go.
Not everyone can do that.
Well, I know that's a limiting belief, so
Right.
cancel that. Everyone can
Exactly.
go. Yeah, that's true. Everyone can go.
Everybody has their own choices.
Yeah, and you put it out there, and energy follows thought. So yes, you can also go to places around where you live that
Right.
stirs your emotions. That makes you feel better. Maybe there's a waterfall where you live, or boulders, or a field where you can just lift up your spirit. That's something toward ascension.
Right.
Hmm.
And that's like, if you're working and at the time you can't travel, or like COVID or whatever,
Hmm.
you know, you work with what you go where you can. You do what you have to do, you know,
Also,
to get that.
and also doing your passion, whatever you're passionate about. Um, um, if it's helping you in a positive way, that helps too. Like for me, I do art, I do music. Sometimes I cook, not that well, but okay,
You
scratch
like
that.
it though,
That's not a passion. Okay.
but you
Uh,
like it,
I like to eat it, but that's a passion. So it moves my soul. It, makes me feel good. Things
right?
like that. Mhm.
Right. So our spiritual journeys are really high on the ascension level vibration, which is one of my favorite things to do with my work. And so I really thrive in that, because I know when I go on a spiritual journey, I'm going to move through years
Mhm.
of healing and, you know, shedding and raising my vibration in a short amount of time.
It's like a fast track.
It's a
It's
huge
faster.
benefit, huge
Yeah.
benefit, and not only that, you're meeting other soul people, soul family, and, you know, you're giving yourself the chance to, you know, meet up with them again, and that's a beautiful thing. And, you know, I was just thinking today, like, oh, you know what? I was really feeling into billions of dollars. And, you know, I was like, you know, that feel like billions, having billions of dollars. Like, I know what it feels like to have billions of dollars. Well, I was thinking a lower amount. And then I heard, like, what about millions? Like, millions is better than what you're thinking. I'm like, millions. And I could feel that I feel much happier and more open when I think billions than I do millions. Millions gives me a tense, like a tense feeling. Very strange. Very strange. Millions gives me a tense, more closed, like unbelievable, not believing vibration. But when I say billions, I just like, I just feel so good with billions. And I'm like, okay, forget millions. It's billions, right? So I was like, okay, when you're like, you know, creating, you know, the money you want in your life, for instance, it really helps to think like, what would you do with that? Not just to just create money, just to create money, and or say, oh, to pay my bills or whatever, let people say, but billions, like, what are you going to do with that? And I'm like, okay, I would have to hire a few money people. And then I would build an ashram in India and have Ashutosh, our one of our sadhus, run the place, like be there and have him there. And I would also have a retreat place. Where was the other place I was thinking? Egypt. I would have my retreat place in on the Nile, because I've always wanted that. So those are easy. And I said, Peru, no, I don't need a retreat place in Peru. So I was just like thinking about, you know, okay, and then who would I want to help? Because you always want to help people, help things. And so I would have to think about that, because I don't, yeah, that's another story. I would have to think about that, because it would have to feel right for me. I don't, I wouldn't do it in the energy of giving some, giving it to something or someone that is lacking, because that's supporting lack. I wouldn't, I don't want to support lack in anybody, because that's supporting their lack. And I don't want to do that to anybody. I want to support people's abundance. So it would have to, you know, I'd have to think about that. But I was just thinking, like, what would I do with it? And I'm gonna like start writing it down. But yeah, it's amazing that millions felt tense and billions just felt so good. I was like, billions it is. Sounds good. So I must have had a lifetime with billions, because that one feels super good. Let's see. The other thing I like to do to help with my ascension is obviously help my clients with their ascension. And I have some really intense, you know, when people work with me for a year or 6 months, those long-term clients, I can really take them deep. and really just hash through soul contract work and belief systems and all of those things. Like I can really get in and I have them fill out these forms and then I can see what's going on with them. It's such a great process because they see what's in them that they may not realize. And then I take it and then I see more and I show them the patterns and I show them like, hey, look at this. And so it's a real direct laser focused way to get in and basically get out the low energies out of their experience and raise them to what they really want, where what they really want is almost, from what I see, it's almost impossible if they didn't shift all those things that we were seeing. So, that's why there's people that never get what they want or never get what they manifest, because they need to shift the things that are in the way of that.
And when you are in a high vibration, good things do come. I mean, remember that time, Cindy, when I won the lottery?
Yeah.
It happened. Cindy and our friend they took me out to lunch that day, and I was happy. And there was a place nearby, and I just thought, let me play the lottery. And I only spent like $2 on it. I didn't win like the big one, but I won a bigger one, bigger than $10. And I was just in that vibration.
Bigger than $10. It was like $1,500.
Yeah.
And you bought one ticket. It only takes one ticket. That's why I always tell people,
actually $2, but yeah.
I said, don't spend your money buying all kinds of lottery tickets. It only takes one ticket.
Exactly.
If you're gonna win, you just need to buy one ticket.
That's what happened to me too when I went to a psychic fair, and I just bought one of the raffle tickets that included the grand prize, included all these things like a psychic reading, past life reading, massages and acupuncture and healings and all sorts of things. And a lot of people ahead of me, they were buying like $20 worth of tickets or more than that. And here I am, I just bought one ticket. And then I ended up winning the grand prize.
Right.
Yeah.
So going back to what I was saying is, if you're not getting what you want year after year after year, there's something you need to get out. There's something you need to move. It's not everything is available to everyone. So if you're not getting that, it's available to you. You have to shift those mindsets and go through the DNA processes of clearing and just, all of what you need to do is staring you in the face, because it's your life experience telling you what to look at. And the thing is that sometimes you don't see it yourself. And that's why I love to take my clients through that process of filling out these things where they have to it's a catch-all system too. So I'm just listen to what I'm saying, do it this way. And then, we'll do the work, and then I'll do this part. And then we just start finding all this stuff. And so it's pretty amazing. And that's, helping people through those those intense or deep things, and helping them to ascend helps me to ascend as well. It teaches me more. It teaches me more also to some insight might come from myself through the process. When you help someone else, you're always helping yourself too, regardless of what it is. Regardless of what it is. When you give and help someone, that will come back to you. Maybe not in the same way, but it will come back to you, because the universe is always balancing out. Okay. That's why when say there's someone in your life that owes you something, and they're not giving it to you, and you're like, oh, I wish they would give that to me. Wish they'd give that to me. Years go by. You just know 20 years went by and they never gave it to you. Don't let your life go for 20 years thinking about that, because that money, in this case that I'm describing, can come another way. Maybe it's not coming from that person. Yes, The right thing would be that the person that you gave the money, that person returned it back. But if that person didn't return it back, that's their karma and their issue. And you just say, you know what? I know that if it doesn't come back from them, it's going to come to me in another way. And when you do that, you open up that possibility that it has to come the other way. And the universe is always balancing itself. So if there's something that you gave and it needs to come back, the universe is going to give it back to you. But if you're blocking it, it can't come in. So you have to really start changing the way you think about things and know that if something isn't coming from where you think it should be coming, that it must be coming another way. And be okay with that. Let it come the other way. Who cares? Just let it come the other way. It's not about being right and being wrong. It's, we just get so caught up on what's right and what's wrong. But if you would just open to the knowing that the universe is always balancing things out, so everything will always be righted with you if you allow the perception and the possibility and the opening for it to be righted with you. I cannot say that enough to you. Okay? Because anytime you're just like looking at one way for something to come in, you are very limited. If you think your money only comes from a job, you are very limited. Yes, a job helps. Definitely. You want to help yourself. But if there's something a need that needs to be filled, be open to that coming in however it needs to come in. Keep doing what you can do. It's not about sitting around saying, hey, I'll just sit here then and the universe will give it to me. Not really. You have to be in movement. You have to be moving your body, your mind, and your energy. And when you are doing that, the universe can do more for you. And so if there is a need, the universe has to fill it. And if it's not being filled, you are doing something in a limited way, whether it's a mindset or a belief or righting and wronging, or just expecting it to come this certain way. You're limiting yourself. The universe can't get it to you. So there's that. Do you have to see other spirits to have a high vibration? No.
Mm-mm.
I mean, no, but usually you will see it. I mean, the other night I was going in my kitchen, minding my own business, and I was just about to turn on the light, and I looked, and there was a spirit standing right there.
Oh, nice.
Like, what? And I was like, and then I yelled at it, like, it's kind of rude that you're in my house. I don't know you. And I really don't want to be scared going into my kitchen and seeing you stand there. And he was like in the physical when I saw him initially. And I just didn't appreciate it. Now, there is a graveyard right behind my backyard, literally that close. So when I'm on my back deck in my backyard, I'm looking at a lot of gravestones. So anyway, there's that. Homer, what else?
Let's see. Other things that you can do. Well, just really stir your emotions to the positive. Shift it.
Right. So,
and your mindset too.
If you think of the level of emotions from the highest going to the middle to the lowest, if you think about what that is, you're always, you're not always going to be like happy and peppy and all of that. I mean, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to be most of the time. But sometimes you just have a down day for whatever reason. But you just do your best to find peace with where you're at and reach for the next best feeling. And that's good enough. So, it's always a choice. And sometimes it's easier to do it than other times. But the thing is, if you are making these conscious choices all the time, it becomes pretty easy. It's pretty easy to stay happy most of the time, for me anyway. And you know what? I'll say when I was younger, I wasn't. I wasn't happy at all. Life was really hard for me, and it was very difficult, and I was negative, and life sucked for me. So, that said, if I can do my work and get to a place where it's pretty easy to be happy, and very rarely am I ever negative, if I can do it, anyone can do it. All right. I wasn't born one of these happy go lucky people. I just wasn't. So, you know, you have to, you know, recognize that you can do something about it. At the time, I didn't know there was anything that I could do about it. I didn't know that you could change your mind or think positive or do affirmations. I didn't know any of that stuff. So, I mean, nothing to blame. I didn't know. But once I found out, you better believe I made those changes super fast. I didn't have to think about it. I was on point with it. And it didn't take me long to shift it. It really didn't. But it is a daily practice. You just have to stay on top of yourself all the time.
Yep.
Okay. So,
and also letting go of baggage or resentments, things like that, grudges, also help with ascension.
mhm.
Getting rid of the lower vibrations helps you lighter and move up toward the higher vibrations.
Right. And you know what?
Yeah.
Not settling for the people that are around you if they are not in alignment with your beliefs. Like, I just won't be around people that are not holding a higher vibration. I mean, not to say I'm not around people that aren't, because I have friends here that I would say not really on the spiritual path. Kind of, I use the word, no, I shouldn't say that. I won't say what I want to say.
Say it.
But some people just don't realize, and they're happy. Not to say they're not happy. They're happy. They're happy with exactly who they are, and that's great. That is great, really. That I wish for everyone to just be happy. But would I, hang out with them all the time? No. Would I yeah, I just am really picky about who I am around because I like to feel the best that I can feel. And so that's why we travel, because maybe I can't see like Homer and I and all those people on a regular basis like I used to when I lived in California. But when we do go on our trips, we have concentrated time together, quality time together to enjoy each other. And that is even more meaningful than being able to get together for a day or two. So I really appreciate being able to work together and do things together like that. So, it's that is a big deal to me. So anytime we can, go on a spiritual journey together, that's really like one of the best things ever, is being able to be with them. What, Homer?
Let's see. Anita has something interesting. She said, is it a bad thing to be interested in paranormal shows because sometimes they explore negative entities? I'm not into negative, but am fascinated about learning more.
No. I mean, it exists.
And that could go with any show too.
That exists. I mean, when we do our mediumships classes in haunted hotels, there's energies in there that we would not choose to hang out with.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we also take the time to shift it if we can.
Mm-hmm.
So we take it a step further. The only thing is if somebody was watching that stuff a lot, then you're going to call that to you. So, if it's once in a while, hopefully you don't call it to you. But if it's something that, you're so interested in that you watch it all the time, then you're calling those experiences to you.
Yeah, because then you're immersed in it. I mean, just last night I posted a picture from 3 years ago when I went on a ghost tour. And yeah, Anita, it is fascinating, the paranormal, but it's about shifting the energy too. And that's what we do. We don't just keep ascension to ourselves. We spread it, we enlighten, we, like to inform people about it. And when there is lower vibration with our work, we do what we're guided to do if we're allowed to, and we help lighten that area up.
Right. When we were in this, we talked about this in one of our shows. We were in this particular hotel, and we were, doing our work. We were having a mediumship class, but we were doing our work. That's why we like to have our mediumship classes in haunted hotels, so they can get real experiences on all kinds of spirits. And the people that worked there said, "Don't get rid of all our ghosts. Like,
Oh, I know.
leave
Yeah.
some of our spirits here. We don't want our spirits gone." And I thought, wow, first of
Yeah.
all, that is really selfish, because we can't make anything leave that doesn't want to leave, and we would never try to. But if there are souls, spirits that are stuck in a dimension that they decide they'd prefer not to be in, you just want them to suffer being stuck in that? Like, that wasn't cool.
I know. Same thing that happened on that ghost tour I went. The organizer did not like me because I was taking her business away. And I said the same thing. That is very selfish to keep this spirit just so it can be for your tour.
Right.
So there was a girl that was in the women's bathroom that was there for how many years, but she was in great despair. And yeah, they had their gadgets on the tour, picking up um, different temperatures and everything. So they were picking up things with their machines, but I was talking to the girl. I said, "You don't have to be here. Let me help you. Let me help you into the light." So once I did, I could feel the whole bathroom, just lighten up. And then everyone next to me with their gadgets, they were saying, "We're not picking up anything anymore." And I looked at them and I said, "Good." Because, it's like, okay, for us, we don't just like go there just to see if there's a ghost or not.
Right.
We like to take it up to the next level and to help them to
Right.
help. That's what we
Right.
do.
Right. We're not thrill seeking, we're working. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know what you
we don't need any gadgets to let us know, oh, there's a spirit here.
Right.
So yeah, we already know, but we're not gonna keep it there if it doesn't want to stay there or if it doesn't know how to move on. So we're gonna help. Oh,
So,
thank
I
you,
don't
Anita.
know. Remember when we were in Hawaii at the bay swimming, and we had never seen anybody fishing from the side of the bay?
Oh
Remember
yeah.
those people were fishing? And normally,
Yeah.
never. I mean, we've been there so many times, never saw people fishing right there. And that's where people are snorkeling and looking at beautiful, colorful
They're
fish.
beautiful fish. It's like,
And
how can you
and
even
you're
want
everybody's snorkeling and looking at turtles, sea turtles, and just
to?
all kinds of different beautiful fish. And here these people are right there where everybody's snorkeling and throwing their line in. And I'm like, I don't think that's legal. Like, is that legal? I went to um one of
Locals?
the locals that, there's always locals right there. And they said, yeah, they can do that. And I'm like, well, they're not gonna do it when I'm here. So I got in the water, and every time they would throw their line out and fish would start going near there, I would start swimming around there so the fish would go away to another area, and then they would take their line out because they were getting mad, and then they would stop, and then I would go away, and then they would do it again, and I'd go back over there. Every time a fish would, like, go nearby, I would swim around there, chase so the fish wouldn't go and, um, take their hook. That really doesn't have anything to do with ascension, I guess. But I mean, it's just protecting the beauty and the wildlife, and
Mhm.
everybody was fishing right there. So much for the snorkeling. Now I understand if people, the natives are fishing for their food and stuff like that. But anyway,
But yeah, they had no point in fishing.
Right.
I
It was
mean,
just for
and they
fun.
were beautiful fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of getting, at first I was mad, but then after that, instead of being mad, I just was glad because I was happy and I was swimming and helping the fish and I was laughing. So I turned into instead of being angry at these people and watching them do what I hated them to do, I turned it around to, you know what? Okay, go ahead, fish, but I'm going to swim right here too and be happy and smile and laugh. And I did.
I
So,
think I was far away because I wanted to join you.
no, they were right at the edge of the bay.
No, I mean, I was far away from you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I think I saw what you were doing and I was laughing. It was so
it,
fun.
it was hilarious.
It
And
was-
so that's the thing. Like, I could have just been so pissed off, but instead of, I just found another way to deal with it that made me happy and it worked. They eventually left. So, anyway. Okay, so yes, I agree. Allison says there's more harm in watching the news for sure. That's pretty something else. So make your choices. Make your choices to feel the best, and that will make you more sustaining in the zone of happiness and peace and fulfillment. And if what you're doing doesn't bring that, then change what you're doing in any subject, whether it's being with a person or the work you do or where you live, any of that stuff.
And also, there's a question: what do you do with the spirit that doesn't want to go? Well, the thing is, with our work, we don't force anything.
Right.
We don't convince a spirit to go.
And
We
you
don't
can't
force
chase
them.
a spirit away either.
Yeah.
Like people think, oh, I'll, do this or I'll do that and it'll, get rid of them. That's why we communicate with them to see what's going on, to
Mhm.
see why they're there, and if they would like to progress in their soul spirit evolution or not. And so, you can't just think you're going to throw salt around and they're not going to be there.
And some of them may not be ready, and we don't force them. It's like, okay.
And some of them might be entities or negative
Hmm.
energies,
Yep.
and so why are you attracting that? Maybe there's something you're doing, maybe someone you're with that you that has a low energy lives with you and you're allowing that relationship in your life.
Question: do you believe in demons? Well, I don't like to.
Everything exists. Everything exists. If you thought it, it exists.
Yep. So I'm not thinking of it.
Yeah, but you know the word,
I know.
so you can't
So it's
deny
there
that it
somewhere.
exists.
It's there somewhere.
So you choose what you want to focus on and what you want to feel, and you go there.
Or to fuel it.
Easy.
Fuel the positive.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do some light activation mini healing readings. And the focus is going to be on, I didn't write it down, but the focus is going to be what you need to know to
Shift their,
further ascend.
yeah, to raise their vibration.
Shift your vibration to a higher ascension.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you're still here and you want a chance at getting a mini reading healing, please type in the chat room, I'm all in, even if you already did, because I'm not going to go to the beginning because some people leave and put it and leave and then probably come back to see if they got chosen later. And so we like to save these for the people who are hanging out with us.
Yep.
And or that are here real time.
Especially if they have a long exotic name that I like to always say, but then they don't even show up.
That person might have heard their reading.
Oh, okay.
But,
That's
they
true.
might have thought, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. So let's go with T Rose Lover.
Okay.
T Rose Lover of YouTube. So we're going to tune in and see what is important for you to shift right now to raise your vibration for your ascension. So Tea Rose Lover. Tea Rose Lover. I guess you love rose tea. Okay. Let's get in and do this.
I want some tea.
Look at Anita. She's like, I got a long name.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that is long. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. They know how to schmooze up to you, Homer.
Yeah, the longer the name, the better. So put in all your middle names.
That's hilarious.
And nicknames. No, okay.
So Tea Rose Lover, her name's Lynn. We didn't need to know, but that's okay. Thank you. That's Lynn. So let's send in frequency. So just relax. And the first thing I'm getting on the left side is that's where you hold your worry, is on the left side. I'm hearing the word extreme. Hold on. What's going on here? So, you know what I get with you is not that you're so much. I mean, I did hear the word extreme, so I can't say not that. I did hear it. But you tend to take something and go all the way into it. So make sure that if you're going to do that, that it's something that is uplifting, something that feels good. Because if you go all in on something that is less than that, then you are putting a very strong vibration into your being with that level of vibration. So I know that some people tend to like get something, think about it and research it and watch videos. Just make sure whatever information you're gathering is something that's going to improve your life in a positive way. I keep hearing the word extreme. So I just feel like that you have the ability to have extreme concentration on certain things that come to you, that grab your attention. And what I'm seeing is a hook, and it hooks you in, and then you get carried into that, going down the rabbit hole type thing. So make sure, be picky. I'm hearing be picky about what you decide to dwell in, because you always want to choose the thing that feels good. And if it doesn't, it really is not to your best interest to do a lot of research into it, learning about it, understanding it, because you're just going to culminate that vibration within you. And that's not going to work. Homer?
Yes, I was getting the same thing. Lynn or T Rose Lover. Yeah, you can be very laser focused when your mind, um, you know, picks something. Like when you pick something, you could get very laser focused, but it could swing either way, either vibration, either dimension, lower or positive. Um, but from what I was hearing, just, and I think I mentioned in other shows, but um, when you're around water, just be careful of your thoughts. And I also wrote down the moon. I guess the moon also influences thoughts or emotions. Um, I don't remember what cycles of the moon do that. Is it usually the what full moon?
I mean, everything can affect you, but you get to choose. You get to choose
Yeah,
to change your mind if it's something you don't like experiencing.
but yeah, just well, at least with water, just do your best to shift it to the higher vibration, because water does amplify it and will strengthen those thoughts. So if your thoughts are of the lower vibration, it'll make that stronger. Also, what you need to do to raise your vibration, I was hearing let go of the baggage. Clairvoyantly, I was just seeing a lot of old suitcases that looked dusty and looked old. So, like old things in your past, if they don't serve you, um, just look at it and see what you can let go of. Like, is this something I really need to keep in my energy or thought? If it's old, um, just do what you can to release it.
Yeah, I keep seeing this gathering thing with you. So like you gather a lot and you let go of little. So remember, kind of recycle, like let go of what you can let go to let in the room to bring something better in.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that was helpful, Lynn. Homer,
Thank
do you
you,
want to
Lynn.
see who says I'm all in?
Okay. Um, how about this person with a very long name? Anita Rose Lee Ergina Tobagon Aponte.
It doesn't quite flow as well as that other name.
I know.
But okay. Anita. So we are going to tune in and see what you can do to raise your vibration for your ascension. So just relax as we start sending in the frequency. So I do see you looking forward, but I also intermittently see you looking left and right. So what I'm hearing is keep your focus forward and don't let other distractions come in and knock you off your focus. I'm also hearing you have a lot of interests, and sometimes you don't know which one to go after. So, what I'm hearing is choose two, max three, and go forward with them, but pick one main one and let the other two be things you do out of enjoyment, but have a main focus and put a lot more attention to that to get you moving forward. Also, they're showing me to make plans for your future, like write it down, like your list of this is what I am this is what I am committing to doing in my life. These are the things I'm declaring for myself, whether it's the finances or the travel or whatever, your health is write it down and say, I'm committed to declaring this for myself in my life, in this lifetime, now and in the future. So get that down. It feels like you carry a lot in your head and you don't really formalize a lot of it. And when you do that, it gets away from you. So if you start writing things down and you revisit it, then you're actively having a process in which you concentrate and follow the focus more and more in a more formalized way instead of just thinking it and letting your mind be that guide, because our minds have too much to think about. So have a book just for that and write it down. Homer?
So Anita, for your to help you shift to ascension or to raise your vibration, I kept hearing let go of resentments. So not just resentment towards others, but also with situations. When you can get to a point when you even think of that other person or that situation, but your emotions are not of the lower vibration, like oh, that person, you know, if you have that little stinger with it. But if you get to that point where you don't even have that emotion, or the emotions are higher and just like, okay, I think I've come to the point where I've healed that already. That will like help you with your ascension and will just help you release all the lower stuff and just help you move toward the higher things. And I was guided to work on your legs, the calf area, just to help you move on toward your ascension and just move forward with things and do things that bring you happiness, like Versace, things that just bring you happiness. You could do like essential oils or um, things that you're passionate about. I don't know if you like shopping because I just keep seeing you shopping, but yeah, do that. But I know we're on shutdown, so you could do it in your mind.
Amazon.
Yeah, you don't have to order. You could just look at it.
Let's look at it. So,
Yeah,
and so right on. My daughter just diagnosed me with ADD and I take it all in at once. So,
yeah,
first of all, don't allow yourself to be diagnosed with anything. You choose what it is for you. But that's what I'm getting is if you write it in a book, that will help you stay more focused on it rather than just holding it all in your head. And so that's a tool. That's a tool you can use. And you know what? I have all these little books that I keep my little notes in, whether it's inspirational things I hear or something that I read that's, really inspirational. I have these little books that I have all these little inspirational bites in. So anytime I'm, need that boost, I can read it. But also I have my book where I have my focuses and my declarations. And if I didn't write that stuff, I would forget most of it. So don't keep those things in your head because that's where it gets misplaced. So you're welcome. Glad that helped. Okay. So if you would like a mini reading healing, please write "I'm all in" the chat, in the comments, and we will know. That's the tag. Those are the keywords. "I'm all in." So write "I'm all in," and then we can choose you if you say that. So let's see. Who is all in? Let me look up here. Sherry D, you missed pretty much all of it, but yeah.
How about Lizette Perez
Hold
from
on.
YouTube?
She didn't say "I'm all in."
Yes, she did.
She
In a
did?
different way.
In a different way.
Well, she said, I would love to have a reading, but we also do healings.
Right. She needs to say "I'm all in" like everybody else.
Okay.
So,
So
it doesn't work if you use other words than "I'm all in." We need to hear "I'm all in." Okay, she said "I'm all in." So, yeah, Homer, you can't say that. You have to go by the rules because everybody here is playing by the rules.
okay, be exact.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the key word. It's not hard to put it in. Okay, so we'll go with Lisette since that's who you chose and she wrote it. And we will go into send the frequency in. And she wrote it again. We got it. She gets an extra reading now. No, we're sending in frequency to see what you could shift to raise your vibration and for your ascension. And the first thing I'm hearing, I'm getting a lot of worry right up here in the frontal lobe. And the frontal lobe is where you think. And so I heard things aren't as you always think they are, that you get something in your head and you just create something out of nothing. That's the words I'm hearing. So when you feel something, when you see something, when you sense something, when you're telling yourself something, take a deep breath and really just say, okay, before I start going down this rabbit hole with this thought, let me, again, read that thing or remember the conversation or whatever it is that you came to your awareness to think of, and see it for what it is without diving in deep and making a mountain out of a molehill. Those are the words I'm hearing. So you create a lot more worry in your life than is necessary. And so and what I'm hearing is you tend to think the worst case scenario a lot of times. And you know what? A lot of people have this sort of profile in their lives where they worry and create a bigger thing than what it is. And that is so hindering in your life. So what I'm hearing for you is to think the best of everything. So if something feels bad, how could you think of it in a good way? And I gave some examples of this early on, right when we started the show. And I also gave the example about when people were fishing and I was mad because they were like all in those tropical, beautiful fish that people were snorkeling with. And instead of just staying mad, I went and I just swam with the fish. And then they didn't go for the fishing line, and I thought it was fun, and I was happy doing it. So there's always ways to change the way you look at things, but don't find a worry and then go down a rabbit hole with it and make it worse than it is, because then you're going to start attracting more things to worry about and things going wrong. And you want to shift that to being more positive, seeing the silver lining, being hopeful for better, deciding that you're going to feel better and imagine things to be better than worse. And that's how you start training yourself to think in a more positive way. And at first, it might be a little hard to do that because you're used to going straight to worry. But if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and go to my playlist called Law of Attraction and Manifesting, I have a whole playlist of how to deal with worries and fears and upsets and being scared and all of those things. I have many videos about how to work through those things, and it's all easy stuff to do. So go to my YouTube channel and go to the playlist called Law of Attraction and Manifesting, especially the ones that are listed Veda, VEDA. I did a 30-day, like I did a video every day for 30 days, and there's a lot of really good ones there. So that is a really helpful playlist. Okay, Homer?
For Lizette, I was immediately drawn to your third chakra. So your third chakra is all about self-empowerment. So the biggest issue that I was seeing that is standing in the way from your ascension is the self-worthiness. There's like a vibration that I was feeling, of a feeling like not being able to achieve this or to do that, or I can't do this, I can't do that. So I was working on that to shift it to a vibration where, yes, you can achieve things. Things are achievable. You can do it. You are doing it. You're in it. And also be in gratitude energy. You could shift things to say, thank you for this. Thank you for that. That already brings in a higher vibration. And also I was hearing, stop being judgmental. And that could mean towards others or other things, and also definitely toward yourself. That's what I was hearing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Those videos will really help you. I've been where you've been, so I know what that feels like. So go check those videos out, because I know where you're at and there is a way out. I'm proof of it. And Amy Kent said, yes, the former worrier. So thanks, Amy. Okay, I'm going to pick Erica, because Erica's being very cool on here, helping people to know what to do, telling them what they can do to help them. And she also said that Cindy has a blog on her website. It's helped me too, as there are some guided meditations in there. Yes, there's, I think, at least 3 guided meditations on my blog, on my website. And just look for them, but they're clearing meditations that are wonderful. Yes, I agree. Those are very good. I'm going to see, I need to get those up on Spotify if I can. But thanks, Erica, and thanks for helping people maneuver in here when they have questions. And I really appreciate it. So,
and thank you, Anita, for the kind comment.
The kind comment?
Yeah.
What was the kind comment?
Do you want me to read it?
Sure. There's some people that can't see her comment.
Oh, okay. Anita from Facebook. Cindy, you are looking so beautiful and youthful. Homer, not bad yourself.
Handsome. He's got his Versace on.
Yeah, it's the Versace.
Anyway, thank you. That was nice. Okay, Erica, we're going to send in frequency to let you know how you can raise your vibration for higher ascension. So the first thing I'm hearing, and I'm seeing it down your spine, let go of the old stuff from the past, because I'm seeing your world open, like you have so much to look forward to. Be so happy with where you are and where you're going. You know what? The old will be there, and yes, you'll work through that, and you'll shift all that, but put your focus on what's amazing right now. This is where you're being guided to put your attention. Homer?
Erica, it felt really good. I just I was feeling your vibration. It's like being open to other possibilities, and you're allowing that to happen. You're actually going with the flow with that. And what I was feeling was like there was a shift because it's more like taking a leap of faith. Like you're going into things you may not even be sure of, but you are taking that leap of faith and just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. So I sense like a movement within your vibration, in your energy. Like, I'm gonna start doing things now. Like, let this be the time now that I'm gonna shift and move forward with other possibilities in my life. So that's what I was feeling. So I didn't feel anything. Um, well, okay, yeah, I did feel that, yeah, letting go of older thought forms, older patterns. That's what I was feeling. But the opposite end to that was just feeling that you're opening yourself up now to other things, other experiences. So that's cool. That's the
Awesome.
whole thing.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Homer, see who else says I'm all in.
How about Amy Kent?
Okay, and I see Amy Kent said that Cindy's manifestation program helped her. She still uses it years later. It helps you do everything Cindy and Homer mentioned tonight. Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's that 40-day manifesting breakthroughs video e-courses. I have 2 of them. Amazing. Hands down, amazing. Thank you, Amy. And everybody, please remember to like, share, subscribe to my YouTube, and comment. We appreciate your help because that helps get this out to more people. All right. Oh, and Erica says, that's awesome. Thank you. Yep. I've decided to go to Sedona and now going to have fun. Yes. Erica
Oh,
signed up for Sedona today. We are
what?
having a Sedona journey in the end of April, and she signed up. She is ready to
Oh,
roll, and
wow.
I'm super excited that she'll
I'm
be
happy for
joining us.
you.
Yes,
It'll be out of this world.
yes, you will have a blast.
Ooh, yeah.
So anybody
Oh,
who
and you're
wants
gonna
to
love their toast.
Oh my gosh. Anybody who wants to get in on that, look at my website under travel, and there's an early bird special if you sign up before February. So, and it will be a small group because we want to focus on a small group of people and have a blast. All right, Amy Kent, we are going to start sending in frequency and share with you what you can do to raise your vibration for a higher ascension. So I'm getting some pain in the back of the neck and hearing letting go of what's nagging you. I'm hearing that you're very positive. You do put a positive, you say positive things, you put a positive step forward, you have a positive view of the world. Even in your low times, you find a way to stay positive, like you're doing so well with your alignment, and that you have come very far with your alignment. You are growing and you are succeeding in raising your vibration more and more as the years go on. And your healing team wants you to be really proud of yourself for all of the steps you've taken and being consistent with it. So that is really good. Keep doing that. However, the things that are nagging you, even, positivity helps, but it's not going to detract from the fact that if things nag you, that it's in your vibration, and it will lower your vibration as long as you allow those nagging things to stay present. So either get at peace with it, with nagging things, whatever the nagging things are, either get at peace with the nagging things or release the nagging things. But you have to make a choice one way or another. Get at peace with it, get okay with it, or let it go. as long as you hold it and it's nagging in your space, it's like a hook that's holding you like down, like a hook that's kind of like a ball and chain, that kind of thing. So you want to continue to raise your vibration, or you don't. If you want to, this is something that's really important for you to address. Homer?
Yeah, for Amy, yeah, I got the same thing. You have been on your journey. You are making leaps and bounds on your journey. But one thing that's hindering you toward your ascension is that deep sadness that I was feeling. Definitely in the heart chakra, but also, and I felt it in the liver as well. So I was doing healing on that, and also kind of like the nagging you were talking about, Cindy. But it, I was feeling like procrastination, like putting things on hold. Um, like a delay effect. Delay this, or I don't have to deal with that yet. And it keeps being pushed back into the corner, but it's still there. The sadness and some issues that are relating to that. It's just something that eventually, when you are ready, to heal that and to release it. And
Right.
that procrastination, that delay of not doing it, um, just makes ascension a little longer, but you go at your own speed, at your own pace. So whatever you are able to handle, it's okay too.
Right. Kind of reminds me, I had a conversation with Homer before we came on tonight. And, I was in a long-term relationship, and, it wasn't a bad relationship. There were things that I definitely didn't like, but we had a lot of good times too. But I didn't realize how draining it was to stay in that relationship till I left. And I went, holy cow, I've been holding the energy for us, for our home, for all these years. We were together for almost 15 years. And, I didn't realize that I was this powerhouse of energy and the toll it was taking on me. I could do it. You can do it. But if you don't have to do it, it was very damaging to me to have to do that all the time. And, I didn't realize it till I was gone, just how much. I mean, I was shocked. And even everybody that would go in to that home after I left, they were all like, it's not the same. Like, they were very sad, and it's not the same. It's not the same. And, even the guy who sold it to us was like, I never saw the roses look so beautiful. I never saw, the energy of this house so amazing. He's like, that's you. And I'm like, what? Like, okay. But I realized it when that day that I left, just sucked all my energy. Like, I sucked all my energy back to myself
I
when I
felt
left.
that, yeah.
And me and Homer turned around and looked at the house, and it just was
It
like
was like, oh,
dense,
like
like
a vacuum.
it was dark and no energy.
I felt bad for
So
the house too.
I did too, because that house
Yeah.
was awesome. But anyway, that just to know that, you have been doing it. You can, and I don't know what this nagging things are, but you can do it because you have been doing it. But just know on the other side that things could be so much lighter. Okay. Sending you lots of love. Okay, how about Sherry D from YouTube? Okay, Sherry D, we're gonna go in and look at your frequency, your energy, send in the frequency, and let you know what you need to shift to raise your vibration towards a higher ascension. So, Sherry D. So, the first thing I'm getting is a heaviness in the head. And what I'm getting is the stress of life is really weighing on you. And I'm hearing like it's really disturbing you. And I feel like you're a really good person. Like, I can feel like I can feel the gentleness in you, but then it's like this weight that's pushing down on you. And it's almost like this weight that's pushing down, so it closes you off to feeling open and being open. So we're clearing that to open you up. And I'm hearing for you to work on clearing your energy and chakra healing. Again, on my website under blog, I have 3. You'll have to scroll through it, but look for the 3 different links for the meditations, because they're energy clearing meditations. It's releasing negativity. They're exactly what you need. So understand what your energy feels like without that heaviness, because the pressing down of the energy is blocking you from seeing higher insight, feeling the higher insight, feeling connected, and having flow in your life. Like it's closed. Your flow is only open that much. And when it's only open that much, only that much can get in. You want to open, expand and open your flow. So check out those. You can download those meditations onto your phone or your computer and listen to them anytime you want. And they'd be really helpful. Okay. Homer?
Yeah, for Sherry, I was hearing for the message, toward ascension, what's preventing that. I was hearing stop dwelling on what's not working, because it's just instead shift it to what is working and shift it to gratitude, or things that you are grateful in your life. That'll help shift that energy. Um, you know, um, I don't know. I was just feeling just moving away from that lower thought form is going to help, because it was feeling like it was turning into, like what Cindy said, like a weight, like a heaviness, and also to me it felt like a poison too. It's just didn't feel good, but wor- I was just guided to work on that, just to shift it and to clear it. And I was hearing you are very open-hearted, but sometimes you tend to give up your energy too freely. So just make sure you do what you can to clear your energy, even at the end of the day, because a lot of people tend to grab at your energy and take, take, take.
Yes. And
Mhm.
also that playlist that I recommended, Law of Attraction and Manifesting. There's another playlist that's healing relationships. Like that's a good one too. So definitely check those out. There's a lot of free resources there for you to help you. Okay, well, Homer, I was going to ask you what's up for next Tuesday, but I know you're not even going to know.
Well, because we made so many changes, and I could be wrong, and you correct me, illusions.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to do the third eye one, or should we do that on Friday? What were the new ones that I
Um,
told you? I told you
um,
some new ones.
well, I didn't put it down in my calendar.
Okay. I don't
Um,
know if that third eye one, I think the third eye, it's to understand your third eye and work with your third eye, which is your clairvoyance, being able to see the unseen, and doing some clearing on that. And I don't remember the exact focus we're going to have on it, because I wrote it and I didn't write it. I wrote it to Homer and didn't write it on my paper, but it's really cool. I'll tell you that. Everybody could use some work on their third eye. And because the third eye is a big deal. That's how you create. And that's how you can be a visionary and see the unseen and create the unseen into the physical. Very, very important gift. And so I think we'll do that Tuesday, since that's the one we can remember.
okay, yeah.
Okay, and Sherry D said, I really, really appreciate this. Thank you so much for everything you two have done tonight. You're welcome. Glad you were here and glad you could
Thank
be
you.
selected.
And thank
And
you, all of you.
thank you, everyone that came. We really appreciate all of you. And we hope that you join us on Tuesday, which will be 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you're something in between or outside of those time zones, just whatever time it is for you, we'll see you then.
Yeah.
On Tuesday.
Yes.
And remember, if you want to sign up for our Sedona Spiritual Journey in April, get with us as soon as possible so you can get the lowest price possible, because it's going to be amazing. You will love it. So thank you, everyone. Lots of love and blessings. Peace.
Peace.